Good morning. Once again, welcome to the class. And today we are going to take you all on a journey of how the gurus and teachers of Bharatanatyam over the last century developed this art form. Today we will discuss 1900 to 1940, the great gurus and their genealogy. Gurus are the main rivers that water an art form. Traditionally, Indian classical dances have developed over centuries and passed down from generation to generation. The great first generation of gurus of a form like Bharatanatyam originated from the Tanjore Quartet, and thus the Tanjore Quartet or the four brothers become fountainhead as these four brothers structured the Margam format of presentation, which is still in use today. The art of the temples got slowly changed to courts and then pandal and weddings, and finally the proscenium stage we see today. Thus, all through the period of Bharatanatyam, it has evolved and there are many gurus responsible for it. The lineage in the Tanjore Darbar begins with Gangai Muthu, dancer and teacher. This Tamil family, Oduars in origin, were brought from Tirunelveli to Tanjore to recite Tevarams or devotional music and organize temple dances. Guru Gangai Muthu's son Subraya Pillai too was in the Darbar as a dance teacher. The Tanjore Quartet, or also called Tanjore Quartet, were exponents of dance and music in the 19th century South India. All of them took basic training from their father Subraya Pillai and Muthuswamy Dikshitar and were in the Tanjore Darbar for some time. Originally from the princely state of Tanjore, Chinnaya 1802 to 1856 took Bharatanatyam to Vadayar's court in Mysore, Karnataka. He composed some kirtanams and varnams in honor of his patron and played a role in systematizing dance presentations in the Darbar. Ponnaya Pillai 1804 to 1864 and then Sivanandam 1808 to 1863 stayed on in Tanjore under Maratha patronage. Vadivelu 1810 to 1845 modified the violin for use in Carnatic music, which accompanies the dance and was among the early violin players of South India. Trained by a European Catholic priest in Tanjore, he propagated the violin in many parts of South India, particularly in the Darbar of Maharaja Swati Tirunal of Travancore, Kerala. The Tanjore Quartet codified the basic Bharatanatyam adavus, dance units, designed the Margam, the configuration of contemporary Bharatanatyam performance structure from Alaripu to Tillana, appropriate for the concert stage. The brothers composed an impressive number of Alaripus, Jatiswarams, Kautvams, Sabdams, Varnams, Padams, Javalis, Kirtanais and Tillanas, and brought artistic changes and innovations of matchless exquisiteness to the tradition. Their masterpieces of compositions are unparalleled and honored in the world of classical music and dance. Sivanandan had two sons, Mahadevan and Sabhapati, to carry on the family tradition. They trained several Devadasis in and around Tanjore. Elappa Nattuvanar, 1859 to 1905, grandson of Ponnaya, moved to Madras around 1880 and established himself as one of the most prominent dance masters of the city. It must be emphasized that the Tanjore Bani is unique within the Isai Velayar community as it did not have any hereditary dancers, only musicians. Until recently, it has not had any hereditary dancers, Devadasis, in their family tree. It also did not allow until 19th century its women to have professional artistic status in public domain. It is the male members of this group who are associated with music and teaching dance, which means while they could be gifted and perform on family occasions, they were not public performers. In the 20th century, this Bani got two streams represented by two popular heads, Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai and Pechaya Pillai. One stayed in Pandanallur and briefly in Madras, one in Tanjore. One Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai became hereditary and one Pechaya Pillai did not. Guru Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai, 1869 to 1954, loomed large over the Bharatanatyam scene and along with Guru Muthukumaran Pillai trained most of the stars of the form. Meenakshi Sundaram married his teacher Mahadevan's daughter and thus got further linked to the legendary Tanjore quartet lineage. Mahadevan was the son of Sivanandan of the Tanjore quartet. Meenakshi Sundaram's father was Satyamurthy Nattuvanar and his mother the daughter of Ponaya Pillai of Tanjore quartet. Thus, both by birth and by marriage, Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai was closely associated with the quartet. He had the good fortune of attracting prized pupils who had already acquired some fame, like Ram Gopal and Rukmini Devi Arundel. This made other talents flock to him, Shanta Rao, Mrinalini Sarabhai, U.S. Krishna Rao and Chandrabhaga Devi. His sojourn at the celebrated Kalakshetra lasted a bare 6 months, but in that short time he attracted all these stars of the style. He enamored pupils then followed him to his village, Pandanallur, where he trained them. His tradition was continued by his sons Kittappa Pillai, Subrayar Pillai, S. Swaminathan and Chokalangam Pillai. Between them, they accounted for the grooming of a third of all the Bharatanatyam dancers of their period. After Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai, Chokalangam Pillai, 1893 to 1968, became the guru of the Pandanallur style, followed by his son Subrayar Pillai, 1914 to 2008, who had trained thousands of dancers, including such big names as Alamelvalli, Meenakshi Chittaranjan, and others. Subrayar Pillai began training with his father first and continued with Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai. He started accompanying the students of Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai at a young age as a vocalist and assisted in Nattuvangam, Chokalingam Pillai and Subrayar Pillai, laid stress on Angasuddam and Aramandi. Pechaya Pillai, son-in-law of Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai, represented another branch of this lineage and his disciples, T.M. Arunachalam and Vasudevan. Sikkal Ramaswamy and K.J. Govindarajan added body to that heritage. While Arunachalam and Vasudevan remained southbound, Govindarajan went to Delhi and sang for Sikkal Ramaswamy, Indrani Rahman and M.K. Saroja before teaching Kiran Sehgal and Jamuna Krishnan. The Pechaya school became a full-fledged college named after this illustrious guru in Tanjore. The second major figure was Guru Muthukumaran Pillai, 1874 to 1960, of Kattumanar Koil, Chidambaram. He was instrumental in training Ram Gopal, Mrinalini Sarabhai and M.K. Saroja. He also taught Ramaya Pillai, although this facet is still disputed in some dance circles. Muthuswamy Pillai, Radha and Anandi, Nallanajan, K. Lalita, Kamla Lakshman and others. He moved to Madras, stayed in the family home of M.K. Saroja and taught the twin sisters Selvamani and Saroja. The importance of this guru can be seen in the fact that another leading guru, K.N. Dandayadapani Pillai, 1921 to 1974, sang for M.K. Saroja. Guru Muthukumaran's art so impressed Rukmini Devi Arundel that she asked him to teach at Kalakshetra, first when it opened in 1936. He was, in fact, Kalakshetra's first full-time teacher. After he left, Guru Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai was asked to take his place, which he did for a mere 6 months. Guru Muthukumaran returned to his village, Kattumanar Koil, where he initially trained Ramaya Pillai and then gifted him a ready-made student, Kamla Lakshman. Mrinalini Sarabhai took Muthukumaran Pillai to Ahmedabad where she started her institution Darpana in 1949. After a few years there, the Guru wished to retire. While he taught several people, his sole and exclusive exponent is M.K. Saroja Khokar, who, unlike others, learnt only from him till his end. Muthukumaran Pillai had a special liking for Guru Ramaya Pillai and taught him choicest items to pass on to his students. He was generous also to Kunchida Padam Pillai and Muthuswamy Pillai and equipped them well in their art. Till his end, Kunchida Padam Pillai adorned Guru Muthukumaran's photo on stage at every function of his or the pupils. Guru Ramaya Pillai, 1910 to 1904, is hailed from Valluvur near Mayoram. He learnt from Guru Muthukumaran Pillai initially and also from his uncles Manika Nattuvanar. He burst on the Madras scene when dance was gaining currency, especially in films. He won acclaim for titillating flourishes that enhanced film dance items, and his pupil like Kamla Lakshman with a snake dance, Pambunatyam and Vajayanti Mala, though she additionally learned from Guru K.N. Dandayudapani Pillai, advertised his status as a glamorous teacher. As films were popular and his style was liked by the masses, he attracted a sizable number of students. Amongst his students who have won acclaim are S. Kanaka, Chitra Visweswaran and Usha Venkateswaran. Guru Ramaya Pillai retired full-time teaching and conducting in early 1960s, and from 1965 onwards his son Samaraj took on the reins when he was hardly 25 years old. S.K. Rajaratnam Pillai, 1931 to 94, worked with Guru Ramaya Pillai for 14 years from the age 17. In 1960, he married Guru Ramaya's niece. He started his own dance school, Kamalakalan Nilayam, in 1970. It was renamed as Raj-Ratnalaya Bharatiya Kala Kudam by his Guru Valluvur Ramaya Pillai. Ramaya's another son, Vinayakan, became a freelance music director and studied with Samraj to perform Natvangam. Ramraj Ratnam's two sons did not study dance or music, but his daughter Jai Kamala Pandian combined academic studies with dance and runs her own school in Bangalore. His granddaughter Nritya Pillai is an active performer. Rajaratnam Pillai's sister's grandson Swami Malai Suresh underwent rigorous training for a decade in music, dance and Natvangam from him. K.J. Sarasa, 1937 to 2012, carried along the flag of the Valluvur tradition of Bharatanatyam most impressively for more than 5 decades. Her ancestors were court musicians who enjoyed the patronage of the Tanjore rulers. Her grandfather Rajgopalan was the Asthana Vidwan of Tirunal temple. Her father Jagadeesan Pillai and her uncle Natesan Pillai were Nagaswara artists in Tanjore. Valluvur Ramaya Pillai was related to the family, and K.N. Dandayudapani Pillai was her paternal cousin. Sarasakka or Sarasamma, as she was popularly known, groomed hundreds of students, many of whom established a name for themselves in the field of Bharatanatyam and as good performers teachers. S.K. Rajaratnam Pillai, K.J. Sarasa, his own son Valluvur Samraj, continued Ramaya Pillai's work. While these three leading lights proved to be instrumental in spreading Bharatanatyam far and wide, there were few other gurus who groomed illustrious dancers. Mylapore Gauri Ammar, 1900 to 1970, was a Devadasi attached to the Kapaleshwar temple in Mylapore, Madras. And she taught dancers such as T.V. Venkataraman, Nana Kasar and Parvati Kumar, in addition to several others who learnt Abhinaya from her. Kanchipuram Elappa Pillai, 1913 to 1974, is remembered on account of his disciple Yamini Krishnamurti and briefly Chandralekha. His son Kittappa Pillai distinguished himself too. His principal disciple Udupi Lakshmi Narayana, 1926 to 2015, himself became an eminent guru. Tanjore Kandappa Pillai, 1899 to 1941, had the fortune of teaching a star disciple, the legendary Balasaraswati, 1918 to 1984. Kandappa Pillai was a sixth generation Nattuvanar of the Tanjore Chennaiya line who represented the best of the Tanjore quartet. His second wife was the granddaughter of Ponaya Pillai of the Tanjore quartet and childhood playmate of Dhanammal's daughter Lakshmi Ratnam. Kandappa's ancestors had been in the service of Tanjore court during the 17th century, moved to Tirunelveli during the 18th century and returned to Tanjore around 1800. Kandappa's father, Elappa Nattuvanar, trained dancers of an earlier generation. He taught music to Jayamal and Lakshmi Ratnam, but not to his son Kandappa, who learnt Nattuvangam from his paternal grandfather Kannuswamy Nattuvanar of Baroda and from his uncle K. Ponaya. Kandappa's rhythmic compositions for dance reflect an adherence to principles of structure that set him apart amongst his relatives who also represented the Tanjore Nattuvanar family tradition. U.S. Krishna Rao and wife Chandrabhaga Devi trained several in Bangalore, including stars like Sonal Mansingh, whose grandfather was then the governor of Karnataka. Pakwasa. Muthuswamy Pillai, 1921 to 1992, son of V. Sethuram, distinguished himself by teaching many dances in Madras and in Paris. He hailed from a family of musicians, dancers and Nattuvanars. His grandmother, Valambal, was a dancer. His mother, Sethuramu Ammal, was an accomplished musician. After her death, he and his sister were put under the custody of Uncle Nattuvanar, Veithishi Varana Koel, Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai. So young Muthuswamy became an apprentice at a tender age. After his marriage to Valambal, he accepted the invitation to teach at Nrityodaya, Chennai. From 30s, 40s to 60s, he had fairly successful career in films that brought him prosperity and fame. Most of his French disciples took Indian names like Malvika, Shakuntala, Maitri, Alamelu, Padmavati, Kunti, Kalpana, etc. Even after they returned to France and opened their own dance schools. His most famous disciple from France is Dominique. This outline records the principal gurus whose art has left either an indelible mark on a prominent student. There are gurus and there are teachers. The sad situation in recent times has been that while gurus are in short supplies, dancers have become gurus. Earlier, a guru rarely performed. They were mainly from Isai Velar community. Also, gurus were predominantly men. Nowadays, most women dancers have become gurus and they run their own schools. At best, they can be called teachers, not gurus. Several individual schools taught Bharatanatyam, but the one that became really famous was Kalakshetra. The history of this premier institution and that of its founder is interesting. Daughter of a renowned Sanskrit professor A. Neelakanta Sastri, Rukmini Devi was born in Madurai in 1904. Her being a Brahmin and yet taken to Bharatanatyam, an art form associated with Devadasis, caused a stir in the society of the time. Such was the disrepute into which the dance of the Devadasis Dasiyatam had fallen that high society shunned it. Rukmini Devi had learnt ballet from Anne Pavlova's soloist Cleo Nordi, but she was advised by Pavlova herself to learn her own country's rich classical style. Thus, she decided to learn Bharatanatyam and virtually set the Adyar river on fire. Her Arangetram on 30th December 1935, on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee of the Theosophical Society, led to instant appreciation. A week later, on 6th January 1936, she founded the International Academy of the Arts. She was the president of the academy, and while James Cousins was the vice president. Both Rukmini Devi and George Arundale were already important members of the Theosophical Society. Originally, Kalakshetra was situated within the campus of the society, but in 1948 the society evicted them overnight. Not one to take things lying down, Rukmini Devi bought handkerchief-sized plots adjacent to the society and created a new campus for Kalakshetra. While Kalakshetra is a true dance school teaching Bharatanatyam, it is often mistaken to symbolize a Bani or a Gharana, which it is not. Several gurus, most notably Guru Muthukumaran Pillai, Guru Meenakshi Sundam Pillai, Guru Chokalingam Pillai, taught there and brought with them their own distinctive style and flavors. So the Kalakshetra style is not an individual style at all. What the dance school did contribute, however, was by way of style, was an excessive use of Kathakali, exaggerated movements and eyes in Bharatanatyam. Thus, most of its products have imbibed a great deal of Kathakali Abhinaya and Hastas. Kalakshetra's single best contribution is its revival of dance drama or group work, though it is generally confined itself to mythological themes. Many distinguished dancers have at some point or the other performed in Kalakshetra productions. Rukmini Devi had a very brief dancing career, not more than 10 active years, but her activism on behalf of dance made her very important. Kalakshetra helped many students flower. Sharda Hoffman, Mohan Khokar, V. Ramani, Ramani Krishnamurthy, Adyar Lakshman, the Dhananjayans, C.V. Chandrasekhar, Narsimachari, Krishna Veni, T.R. Devanathan, Jayalakshmi Eshwar, Leela Sampson, Anand Shankar Jayant, and Navtej Singh Johar, among others, are products of the famous school. Its list of alumni is a veritable who's who of Bharatanatyam world of the past few decades. The school had enabled excellent training in learning of the art form of Bharatanatyam. Post-independence, many schools won acclaim, like the Sri Rajarajeswari Bharatha Natya Kala Mandir in Mumbai, that has been propagating the tenets of the Tanjore style. It was founded in 1945 by A.T. Govindarajan Pillai, 1914 to 1984, assisted by his wife Karu Ambar. The success of this venture led to migration of Govindarajan Pillai's father-in-law, T.P. Kuppaiah Pillai, and family from Tanjore to Bombay. Starting with just 4 students, the institution grew in course of time into a banyan tree with sons T.K. Mahalingam Pillai, 1916 to 2002, and K. Kalyanasundaram, born 1932, contributing their individual brilliance. The Rajarajeswari Gurus have an illustrious lineage of ancestors dating back to more than 3 centuries. Venkatakrishna Nattuvanar enjoyed the patronage of the Maratha ruler Sarfoji II of Tanjore. The second generation of Veeraswamy Nattuvanar and sister Chinnappa Ammal were followed by renowned Panchapeksha Nattuvanar from 1845 to 1902, and he was the Samsthat Guru Vidwan of Tanjore and Ramanathapuram courts. Panchapeksha Nattuvanar was also honored by the royal houses of Baroda and Mysore. He is credited with compiling Abhinaya Navanitam, a monumental treatise on Abhinaya and practical guide especially to Hasta Abhinaya based on Nandikeshwara's Abhinaya Darpanam. His only son Kuppaiah Pillai, 1887 to 1981, the prime architect of Sri Rajarajeswari Bharatanatyam Kala Mandir, is credited with the reviving ancient Kautvams, especially the Navasandhi Kautvam in the early 1940s. His Kamala Chakramma lotus wheel compendium depicting the Matra based complex 108 talas, besides the popular 35 talas, is invaluable to all students of music and dance. His son-in-law A.T. Govindarajan Pillai, sons T.K. Mahalingam Pillai, T.K. Muthappa Pillai, K. Kalyanasundaram, daughter Karumbal, and daughter-in-law Maithili Kalyanasundaram have helped the institution to blossom into what it is today. The institution has trained the current generation of gurus, G. Vasant Kumar, M. Viswanathan, K. Hari Krishna, who have already proved their ability to carry on the family tradition. Tanjore Balasaraswati, 1918 to 1984, was a 7th generation descendant of the musician and dancer Papa Mal from the 18th century Tanjore court. Hailing from the Devadasi community, Bala is celebrated for helping continue the pristine art of the Devadasis. More than a technique, it was her Abhinaya that was celebrated. The quality of the music that she used was exceptional. This was not surprising because she was the granddaughter of the legendary Veena player Dhanamal. Balasaraswati's whole family was accomplished in music and dance. Jayammal, Balasaraswati's mother, who sang for Bala's performances, was the daughter of the legendary Veena Dhannamal. A trained singer, Bala sang for her daughter Lakshmi Naik's dance performances in later years. Under her demanding guru N. Kandappa, a sixth generation Nattuvanar of the Tanjore Chennaiar line who represented the best of the Tanjore quartet, she flowered into a good and a great dancer. His early death left her without a perfectionist taskmaster, but by then the West had discovered her and soon she was lauded at home too. Till her death, Bala remained an important link to the Devadasi tradition. Vocalists T. Brinda and T. Mukta were daughters of Kamakshi Ammal and granddaughters of Veena Dhannamal. They were cousins of Bala, whose younger brothers T. Vishwanathan, flautist, and T. Ranganathan, mridangist, were also prominent performers and music teachers in India and the United States. As an accompanist to his sister Bala in her recitals, Vishwanathan made valuable contribution to dance music. While several learnt from her, it is her daughter Lakshmi Naik who continued her legacy. Lakshmi died in December 2001. Anirudh Naik, the heir to the artistic legacy of T. Balasaraswati and Veena Dhannamal, is the ninth generation and only male performer in his family.